Hey, what's going on, guys? Aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 2017 career mode. This is episode number 126 today for the Monaco Grand Prix in Season 7. If you did miss the last one, uploaded 2 days ago, be sure to go check that one out before you see this one at the Spanish Grand Prix. Really decent episode that was for us, and obviously that was the first time we got the upgrades. And so around here at Monaco, those same upgrades might not be as useful, but you could argue they could as well, the same way they were at Spain. You know, the fact that we got the extra engine power and the extra drag reduction now means we can run even higher wings at Monaco. Usually I run around 9.9, 8.8, depending on, you know, back in the Red Bull when we were really lacking power, and also the Toro Rosso and the Renault is running around 9.9. But around here, now with the Merc engine and the drag reduction, we can probably run about 10.10 even, or even 11.11, fully max it out and really just be as good as we can in the corners, which would be great for qualifying. And of course, around here at the Monaco Grand Prix, you know, the vanilla career mode at least, it is going to be classic Monaco, really. Track position is going to be king. It's going to be very difficult to overtake. You know, traffic's going to come into it, and so we can just do the job in qualifying. Then, you know, being a little bit maybe slower on the straights isn't going to be too much of an issue. So as long as we can try and do a good job and, you know, go for maybe potentially another pole position. We've had 2 in a row now. Let's see, maybe we can go for 3 in a row. That'd be quite something, because usually I'm not one for qualifying, really. I do most of my good kind of stuff in the race, really. Qualifying's not exactly my forte here. So we'll just see how it goes. We're on our flying lap now on the ultra soft tires, of course. Nice and sunny here in Monaco, and it looks like to be a completely dry race weekend, so that will bode well for me. Obviously not too great in the rain, especially around Monaco. It'll be even trickier when we've got the car set up for fuel dry conditions. So through the final corners then, and we'll see how we're going. For the moment, you can see Hulkenberg on provisional pole. We come across the line, and it is going to be second place there by not too much there to Hulkenberg. And once again, myself and Nico share the first row of the grid, but this time it's the other way around. It's been the other way around 2 times now at the Russian Grand Prix, and for the Spanish Grand Prix, myself on pole, Nico second. Now he is the one on pole, I'm in second place. So, you know, probably the best we could have hoped for. You know, maybe could have found a little bit of time if I did another lap, but, you know, we'll take it in second place, and we'll see what we can do on the start of this race. Obviously, the run to turn 1 is quite short and snappy, but we could have a chance to lunge it down the inside or the outside. The outside's a little bit trickier, of course, because you can get squeezed out into the wall, but Hamilton's right there in 4th place as well to be a bit of a rear gunner. Hopefully he can get a good start and get up into 3rd at least, and then we'll see what we do. In terms of the strategy, it's probably going to be very, very simple for us. Probably a 1-stop ultra soft tire to the super soft, but there is that chance that, I don't know, maybe the Renaults will have that poor tire weather that's come out so many times before, and maybe we'll have a chance to get track position that way, and so we can maybe defend from Hulkenberg later on the race. I don't know. That's all just kind of a lot of guesswork, but we'll go to the full grid then, and we'll see how that race pans out.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Nico Hulkenberg lines up on pole position, and a Mercedes alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, and Palmer, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Perez, and Daniel Kvyat, Grosjean, Alonso, Carlos Sainz, and Massa, Magnussen, Wehrlein, Stoffel Van Dorn, and Marcus Ericsson. Ocon and Lance Stroll rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So diving into the race strategy then, as I literally mentioned just before, that classic Monaco 1-stop. You can see the weather though confirming there, no rain to come. Overcast kind of weirdly the entire race, apart from right at the end. It's going to get a little bit sunnier with some clouds there. So odd weather conditions, but hey-ho, we'll move on straight into this. So we go towards 5 red lights then to the Monaco Grand Prix. Round number 6 of Season 7 is underway, and the lights are out, and it is a poor start for us compared to Hulkenberg initially, although getting the slipstream, have a little pop down the inside, and Hulkenberg's gone a little bit deep, but we've lost the back end, and so ultimately we can't make an overtake move. And actually Hamilton is right alongside us. He's got his nose there on the left hand side. We dart to the inside to cover him off into the apex there as we go into Casino Square, and we're up into P2, and we're going to keep P2 I should say, because Hamilton didn't really get past us, but he had his nose there for sure, and so nearly my teammate got the jump on us there rather than me getting the jump on our rival Hulkenberg. And so you can see it's Hamilton then in 3rd, the Red Bull is in 4th, so Hamilton's done a good job to jump that Red Bull. Like I mentioned, hopefully he could at least overtake up in the 3rd place, and so it's a Merc 2-3, and so now we will see if we can try and chase after Hulkenberg, although I say that we've got a full safety car out actually, so looks like there was a kerfuffle behind us, and so for now it's all neutralised. So let's have a look at the replay here and see why that might be. So you've got Fernando Alonso, he's actually got sent down the inside by one of the Haas cars, then Alonso cheeky goes down the inside for a double overtake now into the hairpin, and oh, squeezes Perez into the wall. There's been contact there with the wall, and Perez lost a lot of his front wing, and I think that is why the safety car was called out for the debris in the hairpin, because then we look at a replay of this Sauber here of Marcus Ericsson. He goes on to retire under the safety car. This is actually on lap 2 whilst we're going round under the safety car. He got a smoking engine. He's going to park it up here at Mirabeau and be out this Grand Prix, but I believe the safety car was actually just out for that debris in the hairpin, which was very, very odd, and definitely the FIA on this game have been very inconsistent with when the safety car comes out, when the virtual one comes. I feel like if they were going to throw anything out, there could have been a virtual safety car. I'm not going to lie, Charlie Whiting, but hey ho, full safety car out. It does mean we have another chance to maybe get a jump in Hulkenberg here on the restart. You can see getting right up his gearbox, nearly touching him, so we have to lock up to actually stop us slamming to the back of him. But then on the restart there, just can't get the traction that Hulkenberg can, and we bump him up to Rich Mix, but down the main straight then, and we just don't have the legs on him, and we just didn't get the exit more really. It wasn't about the engine power or the straight line speed really, it's just more about the traction. You can see tyres a little bit cold, and into turn 1 having a few issues getting the power down. But now we just try and focus and to see if we can maybe catch Hulkenberg. We go across the line now on towards lap 6, and both of us setting purple lap times here, and so we're both pushing each other really hard. But at this stage, Hulkenberg is pretty much just keeping that gap, and the lap times are so similar at the moment. There's just basically nothing to separate us, and you can see now getting a little bit of a tyre wear, maybe hitting us in some dirty areas. I go a little bit wider and not as fast as I could through that first sector. And as we move on through the laps onto lap 13, and you can see now Hulkenberg has waltzed away on the minimap, and it's a case of the tyres started to go off there, and Hulkenberg just clearly just kept the pace up with his tyre wear, and so I just rapidly, I'm not gonna lie, just lost interest of trying my utmost hardest to catch him, because the tyres just weren't there. The rear ends were just screaming at me, and it was a case of, okay, maybe there's a chance the Renault will pit twice, and so we could get back into the lead of this Grand Prix, and we could get the lead that way, but there was just no way I was going to keep up with him, so I kind of just relaxed a little bit in second place. So we made our one and only pit stop at the moment then, along with the Red Bull and one of the Ferrari cars, and the other Ferrari car is just coming up the road. Kimi Raikkonen, I think that is, he goes round us on the outside there through turn 1. Normally we obviously go to the inside on the pit lane exit, and we just come out behind Raikkonen, just ahead of Jolyon Palmer in 4th place now, and we're going to the end of this race, and Raikkonen goes a little bit wide on the next left-hander and scrapes the wall a little bit, and we need to try and get past Raikkonen ASAP here, because otherwise we're going to be in a bit of trouble of traffic. So we sent it down the inside of Mirabeau. It's very, very close. He's actually got damage on his front wing there, you can see on the front right there, so frustrating times that I can't get past him straight away, and we now even more so have to get past him, because I know he's going to be slow in the corners then with that front wing damage. So we send it down the inside, no contact made, and really we're just about to slide through there, and that's actually a really nice move to the inside, and so we're up into 3rd place, and eventually that is going to be 2nd, but unfortunately really just there's no way to really paint it apart from it became a very lackluster race then for the rest of it. Lap 23 just defending from Hamilton, not even defending really, I just was keeping him at bay. He was making no efforts to really try and overtake me, but Hulkenberg was just in a world of his own, dominating this race, and so it became very rapidly a classic Monaco case of me just going through the laps, going through the motions, and going on a bit of autopilot. Meanwhile though, Hulkenberg had plenty of action, and what turns into quite a bit of an important action, because you'll see what I mean later on in this video. So the action's not done there, but you'll see what I mean by that, because Hulkenberg now is trying to lap a Williams car of Lance Stroll, I think this is, around the outside and hairpin, and he makes contact with the wall there, and you can see a bit of debris is off his front wing there, so he's got a little bit of a chip on his cascade on the front and right element there, and so he doesn't actually come into the pit lane though. He continues on, so you know, it looks like the Renault guys are actually planning to go to the end of this race, which is a little bit worrying for my sake, because I thought, and I was banking on the fact that maybe Hulkenberg was going to make a 2-stop, but clearly not. But definitely a little bit of an issue there, overtaking Stroll. You know, not the most cleverest place to let a car through on the blue flags at the hairpin at Monaco. And so now eventually Hulkenberg catches up to his team at Massa to overtake him, and these are all lap cars here. So he's actually catching up to one of the Ferraris in this train, just ahead of the Sauber. I think this is Pascal Wehrlein in the Sauber. Of course, Ericsson out of this Grand Prix already, but now as we move on out of the tunnel, the Sauber gets spun round, and Hulkenberg is going to lose a heap of time here. Now, what on earth the Sauber was doing, I don't know. I mean, let alone him spinning it. I don't know why he then proceeded to reverse across Hulkenberg, and so Hulkenberg's lost a good, you know, you'd say 10 seconds there with that instant. He's already had that damage from the Williams car, so that will, you know, It's not been enough for him to come into the pit lane, but it's been enough for him to lose maybe just a tiny bit here and there through the corners. And now he's going to have to re-overtake that Williams car. He does so eventually, and he closes back up to this train. That's now tail-ended by the Ferrari. You can see the Ferrari, the Force India there, and also I think that's Fernando Alonso in there. So you can see Hulkenberg's got some great pace, but he's got a lot of traffic. Sends it down the inside of Raskas, so we haven't made that infamous move in Raskas, but Hulkenberg does, lapping Sebastian Vettel there. It's not something I thought I'd ever be saying, really. The Renault laps Sebastian Vettel's Ferrari. And now up ahead, though, you can see some great scrapping ahead with, I think that is the Force India of, I want to say Ocon or maybe Perez. I can't quite tell once more, but Alonso's overtaken. But Alonso now with blue flags and a lock up there from Hulkenberg, and he goes around the outside, and Alonso's going to actually put up a fight here on the outside of the hairpin, and Alonso gets the elbows out, contact made with the wall, and some more debris flies off that same part of the track. As the sun comes out, though, Alonso's still putting up a fight against Hulkenberg, and Hulkenberg is still behind the Spaniard. And so Hulkenberg trying to lap the McLaren so desperately, and Alonso is doing a worldly job of just keeping it at bay. I don't know, maybe he's salty way back at his old team, Renault. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's had some sort of altercation with Hulkenberg in the paddock. I don't know, he's just got a grudge. He's not letting Hulkenberg through, and he's still losing time in time now with this, because now Alonso's got a big chunk of his front wing off, so he's going to be even slower than Hulkenberg would have ever been with that front wing little chip there. And eventually Alonso comes in, but now Hulkenberg comes in as well. He's got enough damage now from that altercation with Alonso to come in now. He's going to come in for the ultra soft tyres, and so all of this time lost. I think you know where I'm going with this. He comes in now for that second pit stop, and he's going to go on for a front wing change onto the ultra soft tyres, but enough time has been lost with all that lapping of blue flags, traffic, damage of the front wing, changing the front wing, extra pit stop, and so we come through here on the last corner along with Hamilton right behind me as we go down the main straight. There is Hulkenberg on the pit exit there, and we're going to get up into first place of the Monaco Grand Prix into turn one. You can see Hulkenberg just there, and Hamilton, as we look back behind us, just about gets there. And so magically it's a 1-2 for Mercedes now as we go into the last lap of the Grand Prix, lap 36. 4 laps to go, and it becomes not a 2-3 but a 1-2 for Mercedes. Crazy story here at the Monaco Grand Prix. So it may have been quite a boring race for me and Hamilton to sit through, quite an enthralling one for Hulkenberg, and that all kind of adds up to him being now in third place and having to do a job to maybe overtake us once again if he wants to win. And he is going to try and do that on Hamilton if he can. He's right up his gearbox, right up with the chuff, and you can see the Red Bull lurking in the background here. So Hamilton hoping to be a rear gunner and try and do all he can to try and keep ahead of Hulkenberg. He's going to go defensive a little bit there. Hulkenberg follows him through. He's going to move out a little bit in the brake zone there as they go through into the swimming pool section, and he's closing up even more so, and you can see the Red Bull also is. So Hamilton going very slow actually. He's going a lot slower than he ever did when he was behind me, so I don't know if he has any issues or if he's literally becoming the number 2 driver he is now in the team, and he's being a complete rear gunner to me to try and back up Hulkenberg. But you can see I'm waltzing away now, and that's helping me out quite a bit. And Hulkenberg is now getting frustrated into turn 1 though. He's going to get some great traction. He's got the momentum, he's got the speed, he's got the better tyres, and so he's going to send it around the outside. Maybe no, he cuts to the inside now as Hamilton goes wide. So a bit of a switchback move there from Hulkenberg, and in the middle of Casino Square he gets it, and he's up into P2, and now he can try and chase after us. But now we move on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. He's right up our gearbox. We've got some fuel to burn though, and so now we just try and do the job, and we're going to play it calm. You know, it's Monaco. We know how hard it's to overtake, not only for us but especially the AI, so just got to keep it nice and cool through Casino. We've got the fuel to burn on the straight, and so we just kind of strategically just stick to the racing line, block off the apexes when we can, go a little bit deeper to Mirabeau, that's fine though, into the hairpin, then nice and easy does it. And you know, just 2 more sectors to go, so we go towards now the tunnel. You know, he might have a good run on us, but we do have rich mix. We get a pretty good exit through there and slam through up the gears. You can see in the middle of the circuit there to break the toe somewhat through the apex of the tunnel, then come out of the crest, and Hulkenberg darts around, but we just go nice and easy to the racing line, hit the apex again for the next chicane. And so now, unlike the AI, we won't go a little bit to the left and defend the line. We just go through flat out through the left-hander, and just nice and easy on the traction to make sure we don't spin out the rear tyres through the swimming pool section. Nice and easy on the curbing on the left, don't want to bunny hop that too much. And then into Raskas, easy does it, lock up on the right tyre, second gear action into the last corner, up into third gear, nice and easy, rich mix to the line, and that is going to be the win of the Monaco Grand Prix, and 2 wins on the trot now for us at Mercedes here at the Spanish and Monaco Grand Prix. And, well, you know, you got to take it when you're given it. And so there you go, Hulkenberg. We are blessed. Some really poor luck there for Hulkenberg. And we've taken it through for the best possible position. And now we can taste the champagne and the top step of the podium once again. And so as we move on to the final results then, and then the standings eventually, of course, we extend our lead in the Drivers' World Championship to Nico Hulkenberg. But more surprising for me is when we move on to the Constructors' Championship, we have jumped both Renault and Force India to first place in the Constructors' Championship. Just like that. Very surprising, but one race turned it around there. 1-3 for myself and Lewis, and we're in the lead now, which is a real surprise to me. Obviously, I don't really care too much about the Constructors, but always nice to see that then. The reputation level, even better though. The more important thing for us, you can see that nice jump up for Red Bull and Ferrari, and indeed a tiny bit for Renault, but not that much. But yeah, nice big chunk jump up there for Ferrari and Red Bull, so working well for that reputation level. And then finally, we've got enough points to purchase a major upgrade. I thought about maybe doing an engine one or an aerodynamics one, but ultimately I thought, you know what, I think we haven't done a lot on the chassis in a while now, because at the back end of last season, we didn't really focus on the chassis anymore. So we're going to do a major upgrade for the chassis. That's going to come in for round number 10. So by the time we maybe leave the team, that upgrade will come in, but it will be there for that final race potentially for Mercedes. I say potentially because all of this might be a wasted effort. We don't know, but I'm really, really hoping we are doing enough. And it seems like we are doing enough. Reputation level is going up, but I hope it is definitely enough to get a contract offer from some other team, but we'll have to see. But we're going to continue on now, but a very successful round number 6. I think you will agree with me. 2 wins in the trot. Let's go to Canada, which is a really favourite circuit of mine. Let's see if we can make it through in the trot. That'd be quite something. But guys, if you have enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, do get subscribed for weekly Formula content. I've been aarava. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys next time.